All right, welcome back to the channel again. Today we're going to do another Python tutorial. It's going to be on print statements. So you did see in the last video me using print, but that was only for short instances. So let's say we had a variable again of, let's say, 1,000,000. Say we had that. Now we can print var traditionally, like we did in the very. So you can have that. You can also print names using double quotes like that. And let's say like, you can use it without a parameter. So you just get a space, but you can't really see it. You can't see it right now. But if I put it in between, like that, there, you get a space. Now, we're using double quotes here, right there. Now, if you want to use double quotes in your print, then just use single quotes. And you say, I want to use quotes. I want to use quotes. Now you can't. That's pretty cool. But what if you wanted to use both? Now what happens? Well, you just do one, two, three, and you can now have spaces too. You can continue this all the way down. Now you can say, I want to use both. I want to use both. Now you can continue to other lines. Get this one. So it starts from here is where your print is. So where there was a space here, now it's back there, and it ends here. But you have to use triple quotes. You can use periods, commas, whatever you want. It'll still work. Now you can multiple things into a print statement, such as first, and you can have the second. It'll print two things separately. So you can, instead of having just strings, you can just put in variables themselves. Now, let's say you wanted to separate a string. Let's add another one just for fun. Let's say a period. It's the period. Now you can separate it by doing sep equals, and let's separate with three dashes. Now you separated each one of them in the middle. Separate with the strings from the dot. Exactly. Now, let's say you wanted to put a dot between some strings. Like put a dot after these strings. Like you could just put a period, but let's say you wanted to be organized. So we're gonna say end equals period or exclamation. Let's do exclamation. Oh, now what this also does is let's say you had integers and you wanted to keep adding integers in a loop. End will keep these all in the same line. So let's say I did, let's grab this. Let's grab it. Okay. Let's say you wanted to put in the string. Now you're gonna think it's gonna do put a dot after exclamation and then below it's gonna be these strings. But actually, because we have n, we're kind of avoiding doing another, like a return to another line. So to really exit that, we just put a print statement, print, let's say, our variable, and now we have them line after line again. So that's pretty cool that you can use end. So if I wanted to, I could say one and then print two. And you really just get one exclamation mark in the middle and then two. With that, I can get rid of my exclamation mark. Oh, like 12. Okay, so let's say I wanted to do a string and another variable. So this print contains var, and var is our variable. Boom, we have this print contains var. And I could do this. And it automatically puts this little space here. That's kind of weird. Because what if I don't want the space? What if I want it like right next to it, touching quotes or the colon there? Well, we put an F right here, and we enter these curly brackets like that, and we say R, just like that. And you get it touching right there without the space. Right there. It doesn't even touch it. Now, what if, well, we could use this to our advantage. What if we wanted to make this like $1 million? This is $1 million. I can space it, add a dollar sign. Well, we could also add a period afterwards, and we can do something pretty cool. Now, if you wanted this to be a string, you put S. If you want it to be an integer, you put D. If you want to float, you do. Now we can format all of these. We can say 0.2f, and we get 2 decimals after. You do 0.1f, you get 1. You get what I'm saying. Now, let's say we wanted to separate these by commas, this word, or this number here. And I'll show you what I mean. Exactly. Now you have it more neat and understandable and easy to read. So I could put 2f, 0.2f, like that. You have the comma in front, everything. Boom. Now, what if I want to separate this spot right here without just adding spaces like that? Without doing that. Well, I put a number in front and I say, let's say 6. Now that doesn't really separate here because it is actually separating from this point here to 6 character spots there. So you have to be able to really count all of them. So let's say, for example, I put 18. That gives me a big amount of space right here between. Now, the advantage to that is I can format something like this. Let's say I have a couple of these. And let's say I have another one. I'll like var2, add, make it a billion. Oops, that has to be that variable. Now you can see it's lined up exactly there. Let's say I want to line it up so that the ones are lined up. Well, that's 3 more spaces. Oh, but it's an extra comma as well. I didn't count that in there. And now it's all lined up. So you can see it nice and neatly. Okay, so there's that. Now, another thing you can do with print is, let's say I have an integer, I have a float, I have a string, let's call it Larry. Let's say I have all these. Now, maybe we don't know exactly what these are. The cool thing you can use is type, just like that. Now we can print each one of these out, just like this, and like that. So now let's see what it does. Now it shows us what class these are, or what type. So it checks the type of x1. X1 is a int, or an integer. X2 is a float, contains things behind the decimal. Now, type X3, Larry, because it has the quotes, it knows that it's a string. It identifies itself as a string. So This is all I have today for print statements in Python, and hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. Thank you for watching.